Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Star Rail. And in today's video, I want to talk about what I want to see from Sunday. By the way, my dog says hello. Hello, dog. Yeah, he's off. All right. But let's talk about Sunday. I'm excited, right? With Robin coming up, and I think for me, I'm definitely going for Robin. I think she's so strong for my account. Uh, I'm very, very excited for what we'll see out of Sunday, right? After, we see Firefly and Jade in the next patch in 2.3, like who is left to come in the following patches? Sunday is like the main guy still left from the Penacony story that will not have been a character at that point. So I'm hoping he comes then. I mean, we'll see, but I'm hopeful. I am. Of course, we also know that the Annihilation Gang from the trailer they had on their YouTube, thanks for the ball, throw that again, that the Annihilation Gang are supposed to be showing up in Penacony, and they haven't shown up yet. So we could absolutely, I think, see the Annihilation Gang, and that could be pretty cool. Like Sunday plus Constance in a patch would be pretty nuts. But I want to theorize about what we might see, what type of character he could be, what sort of roles, like in terms of character design, are we missing, and what do we want? Give me the ball. Give. Oh, she doesn't want to give it now. We're playing tug. Okay, never mind. Give up. So let's dive in. Let's go. I need my hand back, dog. Sorry about that. So let's talk about Sunday's potential on our beautiful notepad. This is the professional standard. Yes, that we like here on the Nub streams. Very professional, no interruptions or anything. So first of all, one interesting thing, like in terms of lore, um, he may or may not correspond to this. So Harmony is obviously, right? He is like the guy for Harmony, right? He is the highest ranking member of one of the families. He is Harmony through and through, but he doesn't necessarily have to be Harmony in game. Like if you think about Jing Yuan, is obviously a general of the La Fu. He's pretty big on the hunt. Like he's one of the leaders of the hunt worshipping faction. But he's an erudition character in game, quite a hunty one, but nonetheless he's erudition. Or same with Fu Xuan, who's preservation in game, but she's obviously got lots of ties to Nu, the erudition. From her whole foresight thing, and I think she's visited his temple and stuff like that. And obviously, again, she's part of the Hunt faction, but she's preservation in game. So things can be different. One interesting thing I saw, and I think this is only sometimes partially true, but to break it down, was that characters would still, even if they're a different path from their technical lore path, they would still follow a path in game. Their character kind of qualities in game would still mirror the type of character that they are. So, for example, Fu Xuan, preservation. Well, he obviously doesn't worship preservation like the IPC does, or work for preservation like the IPC, but she's all about preserving the Lafu. So it sort of ties in with her character. Or Topaz and Numbi obviously do work for the preservation, right? She's one of the 10 Stonehearts. So, one of Clipot's boys and gals. But she's a hunt character in game. But that the hunt could sort of symbolize her sort of determination to go get her job done and like to push her agenda, as it were. So I think some ones could fit pretty well for Sunday in terms of lore. I think the hunt fits really well because he's hunting down Robin's killer, right? It's a pretty hunt type character. That's sort of his thing. Is I'm tracking it down. I'm solving it. I'm gonna get whoever killed my sister. Let's go. That fits really well. I also think erudition fits really well. I'm trying not to give everything away, but like he worked out the secret of 52. I think it was 52. You guys should know what it means from the story. He just seems to be like in the know. He's well informed. He's smart. He knows what's going on. So I think erudition also fits his character pretty well. Now, interestingly enough, from a lot of the comments you guys are leaving, a lot of you want to see a Nihility or believe that Sunday will be Nihility based. Now, I don't know if there's any leaks on this or whatever. That would definitely be a strange one for sure for such a Harmony-based person to end up being Nihility, but it could happen. And that's something I would say about the lore stuff is you definitely have other characters, I think, that don't really fit their lore. So I would say Sparkle is Harmony. Not, I would think, particularly harmonious in any way with her character. It's just Harmony fits her role, in game from a pure gameplay perspective, but doesn't really, as far as I'm aware, have any strong lore basis, right? Obviously, a character of elation, but it doesn't really fit. So, yeah, whereas let's say Sampo being nihility, that fits pretty well, right? That fits, that makes sense. But Sparkle being harmony, not so much. So, it is kind of complicated. My hands are being licked. Oh my God, I'm going to have to wash my keyboard after this. So, now something I would like to see in terms of both lore and game design, if we go back to this picture for a second, and coming from other games, I really want to see him combo with Robin. That to me would be a pretty big deal, right? I think it's a smart thing. Like my main game I cover is Raid Shadow Legends. It's a really big thing in that game. Partnership champions, champions that are more powerful when you put them together. It makes sense from a monetary perspective as well, right? Look, if you got Robin, but Sunday synergizes really well with Robin, like they're really good together. Guess what? You're like, man, I want to get Sunday, or vice versa. If you get Sunday, you're like, man, when's that Robin rerun coming? Let me go get my wallet. I want this combo together. It's something that we don't strictly see in Honkai Star Rail. Obviously, there are strong combinations, of course, like Sparkle and Imbibitor Lune, for instance. Very strong combos, but nothing that's like so strictly set in stone. I'd like to see it maybe even pushed a bit further with Sunday and Robin. I think it's the perfect opportunity to do it, to have two characters that are very strongly synergized because they're so close in the story. It would make sense. So, talk examples. Boom, let's go. Here we go. So I've got 4 different examples of types of characters, or just like some concepts. I think that could be quite cool. So the first one would be all right, this is getting slightly, oh my lord. It's the notepad, it's gone wild. It's got a mind of its own, everybody. Here we go. Move this, and we scroll down. Stock examples. Looks like we're gonna have to make it wider. Always professional. I think a hunt unit fits well with his character. One that's focused on summons. That would be pretty interesting, I think. So obviously hunt to be single target. Here's the thing, right? You could have these summons, like, basically act as a pseudo follow-up attack. Now, for example, we've seen obviously clips of the new boss coming, and I've seen rumors that that could be Sunday. I don't know if that's true or not, but pretty interesting. Like the new boss, it summons in like these sort of musical notes, like angelic flying musical notes that like attack you and stuff. That could be a pretty cool way of doing a hunt-focused character, right? Summoning in, like imagine Sunday summoning in like these angels, these musical notes, they're flying around and attacking. They'd be sort of acting independently. It would be sort of like a pseudo follow-up attack, like summoning in a bunch of units that are also attacking. And in particular with Robin, you could maybe have her action advance the summons that Sunday was summoning in. Or those summons, when they attack, could proc the damage from her ultimate. That could be a really cool synergy of working well together. And I think that'd be kind of neat. It'd be a very harmony vibe for Hunt unit, right? The Hunt units are often about lots of attacks and follow-up attacks. Having it be more about I'm summoning in and I'm working together with my summons, that would be, yeah, like I said, a very harmony vibe. And I think that would fit pretty well. This could also work for erudition or destruction with different damage patterns. So instead of being single target, like you could have AoE focused and he could be an erudition. You could have it be blast focused and he'd be a destruction character. I think it would probably work best with Hunt because I think that Robin is particularly strong for supporting the Hunt characters and follow-up attacks. So I'd like to see him go in that direction. But yeah, I thought that would be one cool idea. Either way, I think summons would fit in pretty well with his kit either way. Now, another one, a couple sort of in a row that are similar. This one has some variety. I was thinking Nihility. How would he work if he was Nihility, like you guys want to see? Oh no, don't do that. No, don't do that. There we go. So one example I thought could be very different from everything that exists in the game. What if it was an Nihility that was focused more on control? Now, I know Welt does that, control, but different. So I'm thinking, particularly in the story, what he did to Aventurine, like really sort of using the power of the harmony or maybe the power of order, or don't know exactly what, to like almost take control of Aventurine. That could be really interesting. Maybe something like forcing enemy units to attack each other. That could be cool. Or again, that only works if you've got enemies where it's worth them attacking each other. Maybe you can force enemies to hurt themselves. Like I debuff the enemies with Nihility, and if they attack us, they take a ton of damage themselves, or something like that. Or like we store up damage that we deal and can deal it as a reflection. I don't know. But I think that could be kind of cool, and it sort of ties into what he was doing in the story. That could be interesting. I think alternatively, it could be like debuffing enemies and then doing like follow-up attacks, which again brings in a Robin synergy with follow-up attacks. Um, yeah, it's more about managing your debuff, and then like he follows up, or like before you attack that target, he will reduce their defense or something. Similar enough to the next one, which I think people have been asking for just really in general, especially especially with Acheron, but a 5-star Pella, right? Now, Silver Wolf, I feel, is sort of the single target version of 5-star Pella, like debuffing enemies, making them more vulnerable. I think Silver Wolf does that really well, but you could absolutely, there's definitely a big niche for an AoE Pella, basically, and sort of AoE Silver Wolf, where would work extremely well with Acheron. So that's a big reason people want that right now. Obviously, Silver Wolf is really good with Acheron. Pella is really good with Acheron. Basically providing debuffs, but like upping your damage. So decreased defense AoE, maybe just increasing their damage taken. I thought an interesting one, again, could be maybe they would, you debuff, like, let's say, do their decreased defense, but then when your allies attack, he could follow up and duplicate a portion of your allies' damage. So it's sort of, it's the same sort of function of upping your team's damage, but in like an intriguing, built around follow up and debuffing sort of way. That could be pretty cool. Like Pella's always attacking, so that synergizes decently with Robin if everything is an attack. And also, again, this would be just a very strong unit in general, right? I mean, Pella is just really good. She's one of the best 4-stars because, look, decreased defense is just universally good. Same thing here. I think Robin is also universally good as well. So you could totally run the two together. Like Robin boosts the team, they 5-star Pella Sunday debuffs the enemy team. Great. Cool. It's not the strongest synergy, but it just works because they're both so universal. That one, I think that could totally work as well. And again, fits in with what I think a lot of people are looking for. Then the final one, which again, I think is fairly obvious potential that I want to touch on, would be a 5-star Ting Yun, right? Ting Yun, like I said, it would be Harmony, which really fits his character. Let me move this so my head's not in the way. Ting Yun is arguably the best 4-star. Like Pella is probably the other one in contention mainly. So yeah, I mean, having him be a 5-star Ting Yun, considering how strong she is, it would really set Sunday up to be super powerful basically forever. And considering he's basically a leader of the Harmony, it's a strong archetype to fit to him. Like, it just really fits story-wide. Basically, I think the core of it would be team-wide energy boost, right? We've got that a bit with Hua Hua, but we could have that be even stronger, right? Ting Yun is very much single target. I mean, he could even just do something like even it could be single target. It could be like, let one of your allies use their ultimate just at 0 cost for free, and maybe they keep the charge they currently have, so they can still be working towards their next ultimate. Like, it doesn't just fill up the bar; it just lets them do it for free. And even if their bar 75% full after the free cast, it's still 75% full, right? You could do that. He could even do that team wide. Like, it could be pretty, like Robin's team wide action advance. He could totally do team wide. Let everybody use their ultimate. Like, it could be something crazy. That could be really cool. I think that would have a very strong synergy as well with Robin, because Robin has such a powerful ultimate. She needs a lot of energy. So him providing some form of ult or energy boosting synergize super well and could set up a very powerful double Harmony setup, just in general. And again, it was also make him very strong for dot teams, right? Something I talked about in my video on like who to pull for, my last video. I talked about how I think Ron May is going to be the ideal Harmony for break teams. She's obviously extremely good in general, but she will specialize in break. They Sparkle, really good in general, but specializes in hyper carry. Robin, really good in general, but specializes in follow-up attack. You could have like energy boosting. That works really, really well with dot-based characters. That's part of why Hua Hua, with her increased attack and energy boosting, is so strong for dot teams. You could have, I think, a 5-star type Ting Yun character, especially if they were team-wide. That would be the ideal Harmony for dot teams. And even, I didn't even put this in, but let's say it was more single target focused. Like, he could be so strong that you could almost have like so we don't really have a single target or hyper carry dot character, but he could be a hyper carry dot enabler I think that's definitely a type of character, by the way, we'll probably see in the future, right? Like Black Swan is an absolutely amazing dot character, but she's quite focused on AoE because you can cleave the Arcana, she can apply it to everybody. Um, you could totally have a dot character in the future that's all about just stacking up dot, like a hunt dot, based single target dot, really building it up. Not so, we have it a bit actually in the 4 stars with Luca actually kind of does it. You could have like a 5-star crazy Giga Chad version of that. And yeah, again, this sort of build could fit really well. So let me know, which one of these do you like most? Do you have any ideas? What would you like to see? Would you combo any of the sort of ideas in here? Like I said, I am curious. For me, what would I like to see most? For me, probably the hunt one or the harmony one. I'd like to see either of those. I think they could both be cool. And my priority mostly is to have him be good with Robin. That's something I would just like to see. I think it'd be cool. If I had to pick one right here, right now, I'd probably pick the harmony. Honestly, I'd pick the 5-star Tingyan, but I'd be totally cool if he was like a summon-based damage dealer. That'd be sick as well. But yeah, let me know what you think. What do you want to see from Sunday? Do you think, I mean, maybe you think we're not even going to have Sunday as a character. I'm curious to know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.